Hey y'all, it's your girl Alex coming in for our lunch chat from the great state of Texas, where we are literally freezing. Y'all didn't know Texas is in a state of emergency. We are on that struggle bus because look at this, y'all. It's like frozen. It's not even snow, it's frozen. See that? Everything's got like an inch of ice around it. It is crazy. Not gonna lie. About my little buddy here, Ash. We're hanging out because this is the only place that has decent service, of course, reception. And not that I mind, I'm in some great company, gotta admit, not too shabby. Just hanging out with them, with all of our friends. Um, but yeah, so we wanted to talk today about just living in gratitude and just really having that mindset because these are all really important pieces when we start putting together how to get into that ascension mindset and everything else and being able to be in that place for it too, more than anything, when things present themselves. Because when they come, and if we don't have the awareness or the wherewithal that this is happening, you know, um, we may not be able to receive these blessings that were sent our way. Real quick, y'all, if you guys haven't tried, I have my let's see, HempWorx coffee, right? I was doing some hot water on this the heater. It's a propane heater, and so that we have in the kennel. That's where we're all sleeping because I'm bunkered down with 2 litters of puppies that are going on 7 weeks. A very pregnant mama due on Saturday. The horses, the goats, my dog, my Aussies, and bunkering down in the kennel together with the heater. And so just putting on some little bit of hot water. And what I love, I don't have the packages in my car, which is in the barn. And but they come in individual packages, and it's amazing because I was definitely able to make myself some coffee and get some of that inflammation relief from the CBD. Definitely a big proponent of my pain management um, crap. What do you call it? The regiment. Wow, had a massive brain fart. Regiment, my pain management regiment. And so if you guys are interested in it, it tastes fantastic. And so the information is in the description. Before I get going to, if you haven't already, like and subscribe this page so you get and click on the notification tab so you guys get notifications when anything comes up and when we go live. So living with gratitude, y'all, this means in every aspect. That means even with the people who have wronged you, who have done something that you perceive as negative or harmful in some way. And so it could even be thank you for showing me what I don't want to be, or not to be, but what to do. Thank you for showing me what I don't want to do. And so when you are able to flip your mindset from oh man, this person did blah, 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 and now your frequency drops and you're living in this real heavy negativity and just really crappy place, right? You get drawn and sucked into it. But if you change your mindset of like, okay, yeah, wow, that sucked. What can I learn from this? And start thinking about the positive aspects you can take away from the situation. Now you're starting to live with a more thankful and even gracious mindset, because we have all of these different things that are supposed to come across our paths, and they're supposed to teach us lessons, give us experiences, like uh, how to prepare your farm and family for a all crazy snowstorm. Y'all, we have not had power since Sunday. And it's been down into it got down to 0 degrees. I kid you not. It was awful. And then trying to keep puppies warm and everything else. And oh, it was awful. I mean, we made it through, but nobody, everyone's still alive. Everyone's still well, right? Nobody got sick. I was filling them all up with like colloidal silver and honey. I was like, please don't get sick. Please don't get sick. Oh my God, please don't get sick. Because these puppies are supposed to be going home starting this weekend. And what am I supposed to do with a whole bunch of sick puppies, right? Not a good thing, not ideal. So just doing the different things and like preparing, right? Learning how to actually live through this. And so instead of, freaking out and just being like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing. Okay, how can I learn to better prepare? How can I learn to manage these things? And also, too, how can I learn to accept help better? Right? Maybe that's it. I definitely see that being a lesson for me this time around, putting it out into the universe. Hey, angels, guides, whoever is listening, I need help. What do? I have 3 young children. My mom, my whole farm, litters of puppies, very pregnant mama. What the hell do I do? I'm freaking out. And then when people present themselves, just checking in, right? That's how all of these people that have, reached out and really helped me in massive ways that kept us warm, kept my child, gave my children and my mom a space to go that's not really been affected. Like they still have all of their power and water. And they have children my kids can play with. And it's not this horrible, massive, lockdown kind of feel as we just try to literally survive. But it took me saying, hey, I'm not okay. I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. And you know what? Every one of those people was like, hey, I have a solution here. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, thank you. Right. But it took me being raw. It took me being transparent. It took me being willing to say, I need help and I'm not okay. And understanding that, y'all, if you're not okay, whether it's surviving a snowstorm from hell across this entire state, to maybe you're struggling with depression or anxiety or going through a really bad breakup, or you're struggling and you don't know how to make ends meet because, the scamdemic and everything that's been affecting people, what do you do? Right? Those are really big things too. Really valid to be feeling anxious and even possibly depressed, but when you are able to start changing your mindset, even in the throes of the depths, right? Even in your just darkest moments where you're like, I don't even know which way is up. I'm not drowning. I am like submerged 1,000 feet down in the depths, never to see the light of day again. Drowning. About to die. What are you doing? Leave this house alone. My guardian livestock dog she's all toasty and warm in there in her little igloo. Steve Potts trying to chew on stuff. But even if you're in that dark place, right? Even if you are struggling, there is a positive. And again, we agree too, like if you guys don't know it, from what I understand, a lot of us, myself is included in this, you're just going to be stinky. He wants attention. He's angry at me because he was trying to get my attention earlier and I shoot him away and he's very angry with me. You see? But when you're able to step into that gracious mindset, right, then you're open to receiving these blessings, receiving this help. When you're raw and transparent, it's scary. So if you're like, oh, that's really uncomfortable, I don't feel comfortable doing that, that's totally fine. I felt the same way. Just do it anyways. And don't shun it away. Don't push it away. Acknowledge it, because where you're meeting resistance, that resistant feeling towards great gratitude or being thankful or a more positive mindset, you will be able to learn, and not only learn the lessons, but receive the blessings, right? Ooh, I like that. Learn the lessons and receive the blessings. Yes, that's awesome. I love it. But it's so true, right? Learning the lessons and receiving the blessings that come thereafter. And so, but again, it comes back to where we have to be willing to say, hey, I'm not okay. And be transparent about our feelings. Be human. That has been one of my biggest irks. And like one of the things too, I'm not going to lie, when I got that download of you need to go live, you need to start bringing the information that you're talking in your community, or talking to people in your community about, you need to take it. You need to take it live. My horse has something he's not supposed to have. And it's literally, y'all, this is like, I think a ½ inch of ice up here. I'm not joking. I was supposed to go see my kids today where they're staying at, and I can't, and that's another thing too. I was literally crying when I was getting ready to leave last night, because it was like, I have barely seen my kids since Monday. And I mean, I'm grateful. I'm incredibly grateful for the fact that my mom has them, and there was some great family friends, and that whole situation is a positive thing in my negative situation. And I'm not saying every situation that you're going to think positively about is this perfect situation, right? I don't care who you are. This is not an ideal situation. I have literally been sleeping in my dogs. And thank God I have an insulated kennel in my barn, but I've been sleeping with them. That is not ideal, especially with chronic pain and I'm not on my normal pain regimen. That's not ideal. That's pretty fucking awful, actually, but it's okay. We're going to get through this. But the gratitude, right? The graciousness is my kids are fed and safe. My animals are warm. Look at that. Warm and safe, right? We have been blessed because I was able to say, hey, I'm not okay. I need help. Which for me, a long time ago, used to be super hard. It wasn't until like 2015, I ended up getting really sick with bacterial pneumonia, and because I refused to say I need help. And I got super sick. They wanted to hospitalize me. I was like, no, just give me my drugs and let me go home. And they did. But I had to sign an AMA saying I understand I'm supposed to be hospitalized because I'm that sick. And that really kind of gave me a kick in the butt saying, hey, next time ask for help. It's okay. And really just stop skirting around my healing I needed to do to be able to learn to say that. So if it's not easy, that's totally normal, right? If it's a struggle, that's okay. That's normal. Like you learn your lessons in the beautiful aspects that come out of these things from these lessons. And yeah, they're going to maybe suck as you're going through it, because I'll tell you what, this sucks. This totally sucks right now. I don't have my babies. I'm not sleeping in my bed. I am literally having to watch it so I don't slip and fall. This sucks. But you know what? There's a lot of beautiful lessons to learn from this. And that's okay to say it sucks too, y'all. It's totally okay to say it sucks. It's totally okay to be like, man, this is awful, but okay, what can I learn from this, right? And just coming back to that beautiful learning mindset where you guys, I can't talk about it enough, because when I really transitioned, oh my gosh, I can't talk. It's all that lack of sleep. I have not slept in days, y'all. I'm like loaded up on this HempWorx coffee. It really does. That's why I always drink it first thing in the morning normally, and then I have my regular pot of coffee afterwards. But it just gives you like this jolt of energy, and it tastes really good. And if you go on to the program and go in the links, right? There's links for the CBD coffee. Try it. There is a deluxe is what we get, which is really like the price of less than 3 of the normal products. So if you guys are interested in adding CBD into your lifestyle, then, and my email is in the description below, you guys, hit me up, let me know. My business model does extend to the social media aspects, but I mean, we are here for healing. CBD is a huge thing for healing. It's probably not going to matter because you probably can't really tell, but over there, we're putting together fundraisers because we're going to be building the design I have is a 2-story house. That was a download my guides gave me. 2-story house over here where we're going to have Reiki, healing, my counseling. That's part of what I was told I need to do to get is my counseling program, even though this was an awful download too, which I was really angry about. They told me over winter break, this past Christmas break, they were like, don't put all your eggs in one basket to get your national counseling certification, right? To sit for the NCE, the National Counselor's Exam. I was like, well, why the fuck am I in school to get licensed then? Like, that doesn't make sense. And they're like, no, you're supposed to stay there and learn something. Stay there. Keep going, I'm like, why? You'll find out when you're ready. Well, that was an awful answer, but it's just like, there's been so many blessings, even though there were things that were going on that I was just like, what am I doing? And they're just telling me, my guides were telling me, they're directing me with everything they go, which all of us have. And every one of you can talk to, by the way, I'm not special. I've just learned to tap in. And that's also too, getting into the classes we're starting. I'm trying to break stuff down. I'm getting downloads for what I'm supposed to be teaching, how I'm supposed to be teaching things to people, because my content and what I told I was to do and create is bite-sized pieces to reach the demographic that I used to be in, which was severely struggling with my mental and physical health, nothing managed, totally just debilitated, literally. And reaching those individuals to help bring them up to a place and show them the healing, right? But so I have the design. I got a download for it to do the drawing. So we're going to be doing stuff with that. And I mean, just this all goes back into everything. Sorry, my brain has like a million things that are coming that are all just part of it. And, you know, again, going back to that gracious mindset, coming back into that fulfillment mindset, being able to tap into it, y'all, this is all literally interconnected. Every bit of our aspects, or every aspect of our lives is interconnected. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna try to not scare them off, but these little birds are literally playing in the snow. I don't know if they're hunting for worms or something, but this little one has been like literally like playing like it looks like it's in a bath. So at least someone's having a positive experience with the snow, right? They're enjoying it. But the gratitude mindset, you guys, like it literally impacts every aspect of our lives. It has so many different inputs, but oh, the content, that's, sorry, I scrolled out. The content, that's what I was told, was to start bringing it to people so that they can start to heal themselves. And so I'm super excited because I've been shown a lot of stuff. So it's exciting. But you know, we don't want to just extend it to here, because that was the other thing that I was told. We don't want to extend it to just here. We need to extend it further out. That's how you start reaching the masses and really moving forward in this healing mission. I was told, basically, that I agreed to come here on, which that was my contract. That was something, and even my contract included, because that was really, really hard for me to stomach, not gonna lie, the really traumatic things that happened in my life, especially when you have a experience that, like, you should not have lived through that. Like, there's no logic behind how you're alive. And yeah, I even agreed to that because that was part of my conditioning for my programming, for me to step into what I'm supposed to do. And there's a lot of us out there who had that. So if you're going through something traumatic or really big, y'all, there is quite possibly a very, like, I'm like 99% of the time, like, and I'm not a betting person. Ooh, I don't like to bet, but I just got that download. 99% of you watching this and going through this who are having some really major event going on in your life, you're going through it for a reason, to learn something. And so when we wake up to what that learning and that lesson is, we can receive the blessings. All right. That's just the download I just got from Michael. Really? Okay. That's weird. I'm still trying to tap into that because we can also channel. And if you don't know that, I channel angels on the regular. I do. And that was from Archangel Michael. That's not me, by the way. I'm not that slick tongued. They are. And they always have like that word of wisdom. So yeah, that was him. There you go. 99% is what he was saying of you who are watching this. You guys are going through a lesson for a reason. And again, it's okay to say, I'm not okay. I need help, right? It's okay to be vulnerable. Social media and everything else, we've been taught that it's like so fake, and only the best of the best pictures get on, and you know, on your Instagram and your social media feed, all the filters and stuff, and people, you know, like, we're conditioned to think that that's real. And so it's harder because then we're like, well, something's wrong with me if I admit that I'm not okay. And ask them. If you're talking to angels, ask them. That was kind of frightening, because I was like, who was that was talking? And then boom, I didn't even get to finish my sentence. It was like, Raphael. And I was like, no fucking way. Like, no way. Because I've been channeling for well over a decade, and I didn't quite understand that's what I was taught how to do. And it was my church taught me how to channel basically the God source, so that we could pray and intercede. It was for intercessory prayer. And so we could intercede in the Creator's way for the people we were praying over. And it's the weirdest thing, but if you have that experience where you are maybe just and a self-reflection. Ooh, which automatic writing, if you guys don't know about automatic writing, y'all should be doing automatic writing daily, FYI. But because that's a way to channel too. But if it's almost like stepping aside and letting that person come through, right? Letting that word come through. And it's almost like there's two of you in a body. God, this sounds so crazy. But it really is. It's like, you and there's like another spirit, like you feel it in your soul. They're there. And when you relinquish control, there's videos I've done where I crack up because I'll be channeling and my human brain will freak out, be like, oh my gosh, well, what about this? And it'll come through too, because I'll freak out. And it's just, because it's so wild, but it's just how it is, right? And so like automatic writing, I actually write really slow because of my nerve injury, and I actually found typing for me just fantastic for channeling. But yeah, so when I got when I got that download to just, it was like boom right away, and I was like, okay, that was really kind of creepy, because it was like, okay, theoretically, like that should work because, they'll traditionally answer you. But then it happened. And one of the things I found, because I've been trying to be in that open space, right? And so when I was talking to my guides about, well, I was like, okay, well, I'm pretty hip to the UFO stuff, like, I don't know if I'm going to get kicked off. I hope that doesn't trigger a YouTube censorship thing, but other life, we'll say other beings. Yes, there's other beings that are not predominantly seen on Earth out there, right? And so I was like, yeah, I'm super open to it. Well, then when you start slipping into those higher dimensions, right, and you're starting to see things out of your periphery, I literally was seeing one of my barn cats, about a week after it passed, I was seeing it all over, but it was in my periphery, and honestly, it was spooking me. And so there was fear. There was a fear negative or vibration associated with it, and I got a download. See, that's why you're not ready. And I was like, well, that's an awful thing to say. I don't like what you have to say. There's a lot of things, like, y'all, if you're getting downloads and you don't like what they have to say, that's super normal. It's not just you, I promise. Like, because there's a lot of things I get downloaded, I'm like, I don't like that. And they're like, tough. I'm like, oh man, I might as well just take a deep breath, and realize that this is to help me, right? In some way, I'm supposed to learn something beautiful out of this. There's gratitude, right, behind the experience, even if I don't like what I'm hearing, because there is a reason for everything, and it's, yeah, going back to the channeling. Sorry, I squirrel out. With my classes, y'all, there's going to be, I'll be in them with you guys in the chat, but there's going to be a pre-recorded portion of it, because I do know I squirrel out a lot. And so this way I can like have everything in there, so I know exactly what to hit. And then we'll do like a wrap around at the end of it, answering questions and stuff, Q&A, and going through it and having homework. So if you haven't got into, in the description, there's a class coming up on February 28th. I really feel pretty confident that this is going to be dealt with before then, and we'll have power restored to finish everything up. But it's on the 28th of February. That's a Sunday. It's at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So when you go to schedule, you can actually check where you want to, what time zone you're in, so that'll automatically convert for you. You can sign up, because that particular class is about releasing the negative energy, especially too, if you've had anything like really chaotic. We can open portals too, y'all, if you didn't know, because that was something I experienced recently. Tons of chaotic, crazy energy. Like last week, I literally was trying to go live for lunch, and it was like nothing worked. My internet for my computer, the internet on my phone, on and off Wi-Fi, nothing was working. And it was just a really crazy, hectic day. And it had been for the last couple of weeks. And then I finally got a download that I was opening portals. And I was like, oh, because it's kind of like a neutral source. And good and bad can come through, even if what you initially brought through was good. If it's left open, don't leave them open. Yep, because then if that neutral source is a gateway for other non-positive things to come through. So yeah, that's a thing. And yeah, I know he's happy as can be. And y'all, tarot cards are amazing. I use them a lot to do a lot of the connecting too. And I used to actually fear them, to be honest, because I was taught basically that there was something negative, like they were like witchcraft. And when I finally learned that they're just a very neutral source for connecting, so many things opened up when I released that negative stigma and was allowing myself to see, um, what could be. What are you doing, Stinky? He's mad. What could be, all the different doors opened up. Yeah. Yeah, they've been sleeping next to me in the kennel, all of us. I joked with my friend who does gardening. I was like, well, I got a big pile of hay that has fresh goat and horse poop in it for you for your manure. She was so excited. I was like, oh, see, positive, right? She's going to be able to like super fertilize her spring garden. Something positive, right? Oh, man, I want to do an intention. If you guys haven't been hearing me talk about the power of 8, now I'm totally slipping the author's mind. I'll put it in the description. Hey, excuse you, sir. No, thank you. He's being stinky. I shunned him away and he was like, no, pay attention to me. Love me, love me. I can never get enough attention. So he's really good for people who are shy of horses or who are inexperienced, because he's super stable. So when he's working with kids here at the ranch or just any adults in person, especially if you've never been around horses before and like farms terrify you, I guess there's some people out there who are like, I would never be near a horse. They're terrifying. And they didn't really ever have an experience, but it was something subconsciously implanted in their brain that made them think horses are terrifying. So these are great, fantastic intros to them. But I wanted to do an intention because that power of 8, I really truly believe there's a way we can actually scientifically prove this, called empirical research. I feel like there's a way we can actually prove it. Haven't worked out the details yet, but what do you call it? There we go. When we set an intention as a collective whole, we are able to shift energy together. And when we do that, oh yes, big deep breaths. When we do that, we are able to create a more power behind the intentions, right? Yeah, he's super happy. He's all warm. So yes, power of 8 and then intentions. So what I want you guys to do is find a comfortable space. Wiggle on in if you can. Stretch out your back by rotating at your hips to the left, rotating your hips to the right, or your upper body to the right, keeping your hips in place. Oh, my back. You should feel a nice stretch back. Come back to the center. And if you take your chest and you arch it up, creating curvature in your lower back, if you're able to, drop your shoulders back and open up your heart space. And just take a deep breath in. Let it out. Kind of wiggle around to stretch out your back. And get comfortable. Thanks, Ashwin. They don't want to go outside. So what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think about your local area, wherever you're at, and think about what it would look like for pure, harmonious living with your neighbors, within your community. Imagine what it would look like to have pure, utter, and complete peace and prosperity. I want you to envision that. Now I want you to take a deep breath in. Let it out. I want you to think of an event that just makes your heart super full and happy. Something that you just think about it and it makes you just smile and feel enlightened and lifted up and just really feel happy. I want you to think about this event or person and really feel that loving energy. Feel how they make you feel. Take a deep breath in, let it out. While holding this beautiful, loving energy deep in your heart, I want you to take that same vision of this prosperous, harmonious, peaceful, loving energy for your community, your country, and all of those who you reach in your life. Whether they live in the same geographical area or not, all the people that you make contact with. What does that look like to you? And as you visualize that in your mind's eye, I want you to feel in that heavy, loving energy so that you take that vision and you apply this feeling to what you're seeing. Take a deep breath in, let it out. Continue to love deeper into this energy as you continue to visualize in your mind's eye what it looks like for you to have a positive connection with your neighbors and with your community involvement. What about at your kids' school? How does that look and feel? Take that beautiful, loving energy and apply it to all of these visions in your mind's eye as you go through like a reel on a movie screen. All of these different places and events that you may have contact with. What does it look like to have this beautiful, peaceful exchange and apply that deep, loving energy to all of these visions that you see? Take a deep breath in, let it out. Love deeper into this energy even more. Give yourself a big hug if you need to fill in that void. Love this image that you're seeing with just the greatest amount of intensity. Take a deep breath in, let it out. Come back to the room or the space you're in by wiggling your toes, moving your fingers, coming back to grounding source energy, and coming back to the room. I would highly encourage you guys to start meditating on that stuff and really feeling these, duplicating this intention setting, or, it's a really good intro to meditation, which is super key in my opinion. Being able to tap within, especially if you want to channel, if you want to talk to your guides, if you want to be able to tap in deeper, because y'all, we all have this ability, every single one of us. I'm not special, not at all. I'm a regular person who is just figuring out how to do this, and we all can do this. And when we all start doing this together and we start impacting, because, you look at how many people are in the world, that's a lot of people. It's going to take all of us who are really able to tap in or wanting to tap into these energies to really lift the consciousness of humanity, because you figure how many people can you reach out to and just have that conversation, and I know it may even make you feel kind of crazy, and that's okay, because this is really real and what you're experiencing is real. It's not in your head. You're not crazy. And if people say you're crazy, just, smile and say, okay, I'm here when you have questions, right? Keep that door open for people to feel comfortable and loved enough to come back and say, hey, well, what did you mean by this? Or, hey, I heard something about that. Boom, let's have this conversation. How deep do you want to go, right? How deep do you want to go down this rabbit hole and really just tap in to everything that's been held from us, y'all? You look at all the decades of all of the technologies and stuff that have been held from us, and it's very real. That's why they try to associate conspiracy theory with shame and negativity, fear, so people don't want to speak out. And I mean, like, you even saw me, like, earlier, I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds crazy, because it, to the normal person, it does sound crazy. And I get that. And that's okay. And, just continue to practice self-love through those moments where you may feel any kind of negative way about something, when you're being told by your guides, hey, you need to start tapping into this. Oh, and one of the things you can always tell, right, between uh say like psychosis or any like mental health disorders and stuff, things like that, or even the demonic side, that's another thing, is these things are always very peaceful. I actually used to miss them because my brain was so wild and erratic that I couldn't hear the quiet, small, still voice that was saying, hey, do this. Hey, look at this. And that's the thing, is it's very quiet. It's very peaceful. It's very loving. But it is easy to miss if you're living in a mess of chaos just in your head, like I missed it all the time. But it wasn't until, like, and that was one of the things I never really gave thought to channeling, because it was only when I went to church and I was really putting the intention of other people ahead of myself, focusing my loving, healing energy that I always have known I had into something productive, I was able to tap in and get out of my head, channel the angels, and help people, right? And so I really struggled with that concept for the longest time, because I didn't understand why I could do it sometimes but not other times, right? Why wasn't this a more consistent thing? Now it is. Now it's like I get downloads all the time, and it's why if you look at some of the decisions I've made, it was pretty freaking crazy and erratic. But if you understood where I was coming from, which was being led, right, being guided, um, every one of those crazy things has always come to pass with this amazing blessing, right? Even, people telling me, like, I really don't think this is a good idea. I really think, you're making the wrong choice. And bless their hearts, they were just, I guarantee they were just trying to love on me and really share wisdom and just love. And, I don't think they had any negative intentions by that. But see, even God's people, right, can be subvertly misled, if you will, by negative energies, where it may not be this big disastrous thing that the negative energies can impact, but if they were able to subvert me from making those really big life changes that I was told I had to do, even though there was no logic behind it, from the perspective of, in that moment, look, hindsight is 2020, and it was absolutely the most perfect thing in the entire world every single time, but it just didn't seem like it, right? And negative energies can absolutely use even the best intended people, because if they can put a little bug in your ear to literally bug you and have that repetitive thought, they can plant that seed. Well, then what can happen is then the negative energies have an entry point into your subconscious, into your being, where they can continue to go on and really hound in those negative thought process, especially if you're a very critical person who does struggle with negative thought process. I am definitely talking about myself here. You are absolutely an easy target, and it's an interesting ride. I will just say that. Oh, it's an interesting ride, to say the least. But I am quite literally freezing. My hands are starting to freeze, so I'm gonna head back inside where it's warm. I love y'all so much. I thank you so much for such a beautiful super chat. I love you guys so much. You guys are so amazing, and I hope you guys resonated with this. Oh, the classes, there's links in the description below. I'm having super wonky internet service, hence why standing out in the literal freezing cold. But once we get through this, once Texas comes out on the other side of this, we'll get back to going. And so if I'm slow on replies to anything, that's why. I just appreciate any and all gratitude and patience with this. But yeah, our class, feel free to sign up. If there are any issues, please email me. My email and all that stuff is in the description below. If you guys are interested in the coffee and stuff, please hit me up. If you're interested in CBD, please hit me up. I absolutely we'll respond, we'll text, we can even talk on the phone, whatever it is y'all need to do, because that is definitely something I know I was sent here to do, was to help humanity rise and ascend higher together as we all collectively heal through the different traumas that I agreed to come here and go through, so I can help all of you to the very best of my ability, because there is so much good coming for humanity, y'all. And I am so excited because this shit is so cool what we're going to go through. And this is how we get there. So, yes, I love you guys so much. Until next time.